Hi guys, Klaus here, and today I'm going to continue my review on the LEGO Slizers, also known as LEGO Throwbots in the US. And just first of all, I have to say that in my precedent review, in which I talked about ice and sub, or ski and scuba, I've shown you a sub in this form. And you may have noticed that in fact some parts were lost, because if you look closely on the instruction booklet, and not really closely in fact because it's a bright yellow parts, you see that I said I do not have the yellow hose pipe, and in fact when I reviewed this one I totally forget about this little details, and just noticed that in my French version of this review. So yeah, just to say that of course when you bought the set at the time, it's got this yellow hose pipe, which is very cool and adds some details to the underwater theme. Underwater theme. And just yes, that I do not have this one on my set. So excuse me for that, but I think that's the only little problem with this set. But right now and today we're gonna talk about two other Slizers, so not sub and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about fire and city. So first of all, I'm going to show you fire, or at least its canister, or its case. So of course it's the same as the other one, but this time it's black and red, in fact, right here. So it's the same. In fact, there is nothing different, just the colors, even the inside, which is full of dust, in fact. But oh well, it's some old school stuff I have not opened in years, so by the way. But I think you know that if you have already seen my precedent review, in which I talk about the storyline and stuff like that. I'm not gonna talk again about the storyline in this review, so if you want to know more about this, just watch my precedent video reviews on them, or at least go on the Wikipedia page of the Slizers, or at least the Slizer page on the lego.wikia.com. So by the way, here it is. So here you have the space to put the disc, and here to put your Slizer, of course, to store him inside. Now we're going to talk about the instruction booklet. So here it is. Fire Slizers, also known as the Torch Throwbots, and which is the part of the first wave, in fact, of the four good guys in one of the storyline, because of course you may know that there were two storylines depending on the region, so Europe or US. So he is throwing some disc in his case, and show you how to put him in his canisters. I might show you this later. And then of course you turn the instruction booklet, and then you have some instruction parts for the command, which is the robotops. Some gears and stuff like that. And now we're going to talk about the set itself, because of course it's the most important part of the review. So here we go. And as you may know, as I said also in my other review, all the Slizers are different, and as you can see, this one is also different because it's kind of like Power 2. In fact, if I choose one of the tower, yes, it's kind of like Power 2 from the tower order, because it's built upside down, as you can clearly see. So you can clearly see the parts used in the Slizers. So for example, you have the body part, this big gear part, the head part, the feet part, which is the same, and also of course the shoulder and the throwing disc arm part. So we're gonna see that closely. So in fact it's built upside down, because you may know that you're supposed to just to put this body part in this position, but this time it's built in this side, and it works also. So this means that the head is kind of under the shoulder this time, in comparison to, for example, Ice or Slizer. So here's how it works and how they made the upside down body part. And of course you can still turn this part, but here it will just in fact turns the shoulder part. We're gonna see that right now, so just let me look how the pads. Okay. So we're gonna put this arms right here, which is an interesting throwing flame, flamethrower, yes, a flamethrower part, I can say so, which uses two Lego system flames. Really nice, and the shoulder part, so it really looks nice. Notice that we put the shoulder in this position and not in this one, which was the case on, for example, the ice Slizer. So again, little details everywhere, and then the legs, which are also put in a different way than the ice and the sub Slizers. The same goes for the legs, I think. And here we go. And as I said earlier, when you just turn the little gear right here, it just makes turn. In fact, well, kind of hard to turn with my big fingers, but as you can see, it just turns, in fact, all the shoulder section, not the head section. But you can still try to pose in, and it will work. Right here. So it's kind of like it's kind of look like an hunchback, in fact. And then of course the disc. So this time it's red, and of course with two lights on is the element which is shown on the disc. And here we go. It works. So I think that's all for this one, guys, because there's nothing really much to talk about. So of course it's got like two articulation per legs, and also on this arm, on the left arm, and of course the right arm just got one part of articulation because it's a throwing disc arm, and of course you have these gears right here. But apart from that, I think that's all for this one, but it's still kind of original because it's use the same parts but in a different ways, and also of course the main point of this set is the fact that it's built upside down, so his head is like his ear, in fact, at the pelvis level, if I can say so. And also, yes, notice the head, of course, which is the visor, which is different from the other one, and also really cool with the robotic feeling. And here we go, guys. So that's all for the Fire Slizer or Torch Throwbots. Maybe I'm just gonna put him in this canister so you will see how it works, and then I'm gonna show you the City Slizer, also known as a Turbo Throwbot. So first of all, I have to turn this part. Right here, then move the legs like that. Okay. Of course, you can still, as you can see, block in kind of way the arms in the shoulder section, the shoulder part. Well, I'm trying to do that. It's kind of hard. I think it's like that, yeah. Yeah, and it's look like that, in fact. So, and then you just have to put in the canister. So, right, okay, like this, and then the disc in this little space, and here we go, it's done. And of course, we're gonna I'm gonna put him back on his feet later. So now we're gonna talk about the City Slizer, which is the the last one of the first wave, which is shown, not the first wave, but the 4 good guys, in kind of, right here, as you can see. I just have the canister for this one, so I'm gonna show you. So it's black with some teal green. I think it's called teal green, this one, because it's not turquoise. So, well, yeah, and it is the same as the other one, as you can see. And also, I didn't say that in my present review, but as you can see, you were supposed to put your name. In fact, here, I think it's because when you bring it on outside, in fact, as I said earlier, as I said in my other review, excuse me, in my present review, with this hole, you were supposed to pass your belt in this hole, and then you will walk with that outside, in fact, when you go at a friend's house to play with your Slizers. So I think that's why they decided to put a name right here, then you're supposed to write your name with some pen. I don't have the exact name for this stuff to correct. Why to write? Well, we're just gonna talk about City, I think. And I don't have the instruction booklet for this one, but I don't think there is tons of stuff to see. So here it is. And now you can see this one is again completely different because it's no more a biped, if I can say so. It's no more a humanoid. It's a guy on wheels, so kind of like a car, in fact. So how it works, because as you will see, in fact, it still uses the same body frame. If you look closely, I can just put this off. If you look closely right here, it uses the same body frame. So you have these two parts with the gears right here. Of course, you have the big gears, this one which of course is smaller than the fire or the ice one. And then you have the head. Also notice that the visor this time it's all black, which is kind of cool. But this time, instead of real arms and legs, we're gonna put this Slizers parts. I don't have the name for this one, but Slizer panels maybe. I think they call lift arm in P1, but well, don't really look like arm, but by the way. So yes, I'm gonna put this part right here instead of the arms, and then put some wheels, which are linked with these little parts with one pin. One side is a pin and the other side is an axle, right here. So these are the wheels with one axle all. And here we go for the front wheels, and then for the rear wheels, we're gonna do this little stuff. So with these two parts, which are these parts with little numbers on it, which represent the angle of the angle. I don't think it's we can tell the well. I'm just gonna search that word really quickly, guys. No, yeah, the angle of the corner, I think. The angle of 6 this time. And then another lift arm and the wheels right here. And with the yellow little part, so yeah, of course you can see the color scheme on this one is still green, yellow and black. And on fire it was red and black, I think. So we're gonna just put this part right here on this axle. And you can see it's nearly done. I just have to put the arms. So we're gonna use these two teal green parts right there, which are linked to the main body frame. And I think I don't remember if this was. I think it was like that. And here we go. We have the arm on the side. And of course, this time when you turn the gears, it moves the head and the front wheel. So for example, you can try to. Yes. Yes, it still works right there. No, it's kind of yes. So you can move him up like that, for example, or also try to move him down. But of course, not as done because the parts will block. Yes, at this level it still works. So here we go, and of course you have the disc. So here is the disc. So I don't have the element one. So this time it's with 3 light dot, in fact. So this is where you see the Slizers showing his disc. Right there you can clearly see it's CT showing his disc. So we're gonna trim also, and here we go. So as you have understood, I think this one is really original, in fact, because it's really different from all the other one, and it's I think the only one with wheels. Well, in the first wave, it's the only one. I'm not really that sure in the second wave, but I do not really think. So this is really the only one with wheels, so it's only one of the most original Slizers, even if it still uses the same body frame. And we're gonna see later that there is some Slizers which in fact does not really use this body frame, but used a different one. So we're gonna see that in my third review. But for now, I think that's all for this second review. In fact, so you have the CT as well as Turbo, and then I'm gonna take back the Fire Slizer, which waits in this case. Who waits in this case? Well, this doctor is not really a person, so I think it's Switch. Oh, and I forgot to take the disc. So yeah, of course, excuse me for the little background sound. It's in my computers, which is kind of noisy. So I'm gonna put him back. And here we go. Oh well, okay. Just fall off because yes, of course, it sometimes falls off kind of easily. And here we go, guys. There were the two Slizers I've shown you in this review. So you got the fire one here in red and black, which is built upside down. So that's one of the most important features of this one, is the fact that it's built upside down, and also that there is some interesting part like the flamethrower part, and also the way his legs are put. And also you have the city slicer, which is totally different fact, because the main features on this one, the main feature, excuse me, is the fact that it's a wheeled slicer. As you can see, it's got 4 wheels, so it's totally different from this one, except that it still uses the same body frame. So it's really cool, and they are all two unique in comparison to the other slizers I've shown you earlier. So I am taking ice right here, as you can see. I think ice is the most, in fact, basic slicer, because it's really an okay one. It doesn't really have any unique features apart from his ski, of course. And then you have the sub one, of course, with one hose pipe missing on my version. And here we go. But that's not all, because as I said earlier, I'm gonna do a third review with 2 of the bad guys, if I can say so, because I just own 2 of them. So I think that's all. Maybe I will do some kind of sum up at the end of the third review. But for now, I think that's all, guys. So hope you enjoy this review. And if you have any question I have not answered in this review, feel free to ask them. And by the way, I think that's all. So see you later. Bye bye.